What's going on, studs? Can all hear a Bulls on Wall Street? A very interesting day in the stock market. The morning was a frothy COVID type McGee where you saw all sorts of shenanigans in terms of just hot heat and speculation. And then, we had an interesting end of day reversal. I did not see anything that looked like a significant news into the markets, but I'm sure there was probably always something, but it didn't look like anything glaring when I was looking through all the little scatter on the trade wires and Benzingas and Trade the News and all these kind of things. So, hot heat in the morning, complete reversal. And, a little bit of I would say a little bit of a red flag. Because of the speculation that was happening, it felt very frothy. The old Trumpsters, stock opened up at frickin' $80, right? And rolled over $58. The Trumpsters engaging in a monster cock pump and dump right now, too. He's going to get the most fantastic billions, okay, because Truth Social is the best, okay? I've talked to five-star generals about Truth Social. It's got great, fantastic people, okay? Join us. Now, he's going to be dumping, this thing is probably coming back to $15. I don't believe they even do any revenue just yet, so who knows, right? It was the frothiness that really got it. Like, this thing just gapped up and went. And, we had Reddit do very similar. Oddly, I was long these on the opening drive. And then they kind of, start rolling over. You saw this with A-Lab, right? So these are your IPOs that all gapped up and spiked down and had, some decent size reversal. So something to just kind of keep into the back of your head. When you look at the QQQ, we were only down 0.3, but we did dump off into the close. The IWM did dump off into the close. Now, look, they're down barely a smidge. And we've seen this before, right, where you have like a little bit of a red day, and then the next day the market comes roaring back. But I think the thing to just keep aware of is that we are kind of distributing a little bit. It doesn't mean we're, going to have some big nasty bear market or anything, but we're having a little bit of churn and bringing in some fresh buyers. There's, people are locking in profits. And you're seeing that, like, if you look at the general QQQs, like, right, we've been going sideways for, a darn month, right? And really even sideways for a month since, March 1st. But if you really go back, like even from the month before, right, we're really kind of at the same spot, maybe 2 or 3 points higher. So it's, it's a trend, but it's like the trend is slowed down, right? The rate of ascent has slowed down, significantly. So we're just like I would say like maybe a little bit more of like kind of a channel, and we're kind of ping-ponging around into this consolidation as we kind of work through all this and allow some fresh companies to emerge and maybe some new fresh themes as the market seems a little bit tired. Now, this can change on just a dot. Like literally, it could change in a hot second with one piece of news, one piece of this, one piece of that. So you never want to read too much into it. But, watch yourself, watch your risk. I was talking to a couple students of mine that were like, man, this is awesome. I'm feeling like pretty good about, my trading. And, they're pretty brand new. And it's like, when people are starting to really feel themselves like they got it, that's when things really, really end, nastily. And it could just be nasty for a few weeks, but that's enough to give back months worth of profit. So just be careful tomorrow. Let's take a look at the watch list. There were some interesting things that held up today. Old Krispy Kreme put out a PR. They are essentially combining the Boston cream pie, which is every man's favorite favorite donut, and they're combining it with like a sausage McMuffin. And so they're putting the cream pie in the McMuffin, and they're doing a little bit of kind of healthy meal type of thing. I don't know. And then they're, burning off some of the cows on it, and they got this new thing going on, and it's supposed to be the next big thing. And so this thing took off 40 points on 43 million shares in volume. But hey, we need some new shit to trade. So this is like, I'm into this, right? Week open, red to green. Let's add this. We had this on the watch list in the morning, and it was a grinder trender, which is good. Like, when the per candle ATR is just at that 25, 30 cents. Like for a lot of you guys, that's going to be a lot easier than when they're moving like $2, $3, right? So I like the overall look. VKTX did fade off a little bit into the close, but I thought the overall action was pretty good. It kind of faded off with the market to close, but I definitely keep an eye on that one. I'm thinking we leave these IPOs alone now. They've come a long way. So like, DJT, Reddit, A-Lab, like leave these alone. Let them base out. Let them form back out a little bit. The way that they had the wicks on today and stuff like that, and the frothiness, I think you could just let them reset a little bit, and they're going to go a long way. Like, and then you'll have a chance to kind of come in and do something else. This BHC's got a nice flat top breakout here. You kind of testing this 10 spot. If you like these stocks in this type of price range, you can, rip this thing right over 10. Very interested in guess on any kind of weakness here if the 9 EMA tightens up due to the run and Gap and Abercrombie and Fitch and all these kind of names over the last so many months. I think this guess could be, it could be something. Let's see if this thing has come back a couple points, but let's see if, if we can grind down a little bit and then come out of it. The setup I'd like for it to do is something more like Target. This was just a nice, easy, right? So you get the 2-day gap and then you grind down, right? And just really tighten up there and then boom, right? You come out of it and it turns yourself into really kind of a nice swing trade. It's, something you don't even have to day trade. Like you can come into this. FedEx, this is the earnings high over here. If you get a weak open and then a takeout of, let's say, 291, I think this one's got a good chance. W's got a nice set over here, longer term, right? Longer term base that's kind of emerging here in this kind of $60 to $70, $80 pocket. But, beyond that, we have, let's just kind of on a short-term basis, we got ourselves a nice range break on a couple different ways. Diagonal, horizontal, triangle, not triangle. We got them on all, different bases. It's got a good look to it. This one you need the market to hold because it's a more speculative name. That one's going to be like you need the market to be very, very spicy. Hey, this SE is starting to build out a base here at 54. I'm thinking it's starting around here. If it can close over this 9 EMA, that sends this thing back into the 64 range. And this is a stock you can day trade, but it's frankly a swing trade setup also. This move over here was from earnings. It's definitely a bottoming pattern, right? Like this thing was $400. We based out into the 30s, right? And now we're starting to trend. So it's got, a little bit of momentum, but still a lot of room to go. We got Dell Computers, old Dell Computers over here, right? Just basing out right here. We've got a level kind of in this 115, 116 zone. It did try to peek its head a little bit today. But no cigar. But you still got the same overall look on it. I think Lyft, after that breakout, right, you got this big flat top breakout. You got 1, 2, 3 days of consolidation. A week open on this and a tap back into this trend line 9 EMA. We'll watch this thing for a red to green. I think it'll have a chance to go. Google got rejected at resistance today. But I think, one more day or a week open on this one, it should tighten this thing up. I would not chase a gap up through this breakout spot because it'll be too extended. You need a weak open or flat open. Let this all tighten up, and then I think it's going to have a chance. Kava's got a level here at the 69.70 zone, right? It's just a trender grinder, but it's been working. Usually when it breaks out, it's good for a couple bucks. This EH was because of earnings, and now you're starting to really tighten up here. This 9 EMA is catching up. This one you get a weak open tap in a 9. It may actually break its flag in one fell swoop. Lulu's. This was earnings. Then you got 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles sideways over here. Dudes, this is I got a good spot to just, if it breaks the earnings low, this setup has been working pretty well, over the years. If you break that earnings low, then you got kind of a secondary push into it. Hey, CLSK did have an inside day. I would consider this an inside day. It kind of tried to test out yesterday's highs. It got rejected. It had some wicks on it. But that's good. Like you want to have, because it was getting a little bit long in the tooth because the move the previous day was just too big. So you get an inside day, a little hanging Chad, and that really gets it going, right? So I would, any kind of weakness on this bad boy, you may see this thing come in and take out that 24, and it's going to be hot to trot. Couple things to just kind of keep mind of. This is similar setup to Lulu. If we need a short, this Nike had its earnings out. You got a couple days consolidation. If it takes out that 91.80s, you kind of do it like an ORB and an intraday chart. So just kind of keep that in mind. And, a couple things to just watch is a measure of risk. NVIDIA did have a 2% pullback today. If this gets dusted off tomorrow, you see coin get dusted off tomorrow, you want to probably take a little bit of your feet off the gas because the market is grinding a little bit on the indexes. Yes, we're having periods of hotness and they're fun and we're playing them, but there are, a lot of mixed signals happening right now, and that's just normal when you come up so far in the last few months. It does not mean that the bull market is over. It doesn't really mean anything beyond just, hey, sometimes markets have to take a breather and you get a little bit of changing of price action for a period of a month or two. We saw that last year, right? If you think about last year, we had such an awesome, right, January to the summer. The market just bottomed in January. Man, went on such a huge run to July, right? This was just very similar to just what we went through, right? Same kind of run. And then you spent, right, months. This is July, August, September, October, right, November. So months, half the damn year went into the consolidation. So that is a normal market. You push, you rest, you pull back, you push, you rest, you pull back, all these kind of things. So just be a little bit careful tomorrow. I think, there's some names out here, some fresh ones like Donut and VKT, and we got a couple shorts too. And these earnings plays that are kind of coalescing, right? Guess and FDX, I think, are going to be some good watches for tomorrow. Not the sexiest of lists, but I do think we got to be cautious. So I love you guys. Take care. I see you guys on the Boom Boom Room. Peace.